Teachers, what was the dumbest answer you've received on a test? I had a student who wrote IDK or IDK man for every single answer. He didn't even try and the test was pretty easy. You could have at least guessed. History, by the way, sometimes not answering is as good as guessing. If the question is, what was the reason for the fall of the Roman Empire, and he put lead poisoning, would you really award points for that? Maybe it was a multiple choice test. And also guessing is always better than nothing. Would you like to die for 100% or would you like to have a 1% chance to live, die 100%? I mean, he could have at least taken the time to write out, I don't know, instead of, IDK, lol. The global viral pandemic was started by a coalition of powerful global fast food chains to shut down dine-in restaurants. Fast food corporations have world leaders in their pockets and have spent enormous amounts of money to silence the medical community. Doctors are being promised free Big Macs in exchange for forging death certificates, and frontline nurses are being silenced with Whopper Juniors and chicken fries. Fast food stores are uniquely designed to thrive in a time where drive-through service is the only available option. It is also known that vaccines cause a loss of appetite in children shortly after administering, so the loss of chicken nugget sales after trips to a pediatrician are immeasurable. They are trying to hide the fact that the virus was engineered in a Taco Bell test kitchen using kangaroo meat, initially spread through a partnership with Jack in the Box Tacos. Donald Trump is also known to be a big supporter of fast food, often serving it in the WH. It is also a fact that the virus was spread to suppress Christianity, since the main reason for attending Sunday service is dining out for lunch after. Without lunch, Sunday service attendance #S will plummet. What's the greatest mental health tip you've gotten? Never evaluate your life when you're tired. This is so true. Ever notice things seem much worse at night when worries seem at their worst? The next morning your brain can think of ways to fix them and most times they aren't there the next day. This hit hard for me, for real. All my stress, worries surface when I'm trying to sleep. I cannot control other people's actions. It's just too bad their actions directly impact me. Pretty much. I think it's more about surrendering control though. As if I ever had control. It's not about surrendering control, it's about taking control of yourself. You can't change what other people do, but you can control how you react to it. If someone wants to walk all over you, that doesn't mean you have to lie down and let them. Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. This is great advice. You now have permission to give me criticism. This is great advice and also a sick burn if you said it in front of somebody criticizing you. It would be such a laugh to see their OCNFISED then pissed of face. Speaking of being confused, the best criticism doubles as advice. That's a really good one. Yes. Parent yourself the way your own parents never did. I'm still learning to do this, but I am definitely much better at loving and forgiving myself. Hell yay. I may not be good at loving myself, but I'm good at forgiving myself. It definitely takes time to learn, especially when we've been taught to hate ourselves. That is so good. Look at you making this work more wholesome and better and kind. Well done you. Thank you. This could not be more accurate. I am parenting the complete opposite of how my parents did it, and it brings me such joy to know that I am not repeating their mistakes or deploying their standards of emotional neglect. Stay at it, self-aware parents. Cheers. Self-care isn't always a bath and a hot chocolate. Sometimes it's giving your head a little shake and doing what needs to be done. For me, it's often dragging myself out of the house for a walk. Gets the blood pumping and makes a world of difference to my headspace. Yep. For me, self-care is about 50% doing stuff I want that relaxes me and 50% doing stuff I don't want to do that needs to be done. On the topic of self-care, it should be habit or a discipline, not an indulgence. If that's all you have time for, that's okay, but we often treat self-care like a little cheating moment, something away from the normal world. Doing things that are good for our mental health should be a regular thing, like brushing teeth and drinking water. I really hate the whole self-care and treat yourself industry. An alien asks you to join them on a trip through the cosmos, you'll experience amazing things, but won't be coming back to Earth. Would you go? Why or why not? What type of things? Like some sort of adventures, looking at stars implode and planets collide, watch civilizations rise and fall, see black holes swallow planetoids, help civilizations develop and become the god. Do I get to meet other aliens? Do I get to be a part of high-risk Uncharted-style adventures unfold across galaxies? What type of amazing things are we talking about? I'd go if I got to meet aliens and forge new relationships, but if it was a lonesome buddy cop space trip just watching different types of cosmic balls explode in different ways, no thanks. Problem is stars imploding and planets colliding can take 100,000 years at a minimum. Let's just say if the aliens have figured out a way to easily travel here, we're talking buddy cop aliens, not their version of NASA, they have probably figured out how to deal with time to some degree. True, I would need to bring some epic quality weed with me though to really enjoy the experience. What is, in your opinion, the most F***ed up movie that Disney has ever made? Pinocchio, Pleasure Island, abduction, human trafficking of children, turning them into donkeys, clowns, nightmare fuel for sure. I Want My Mama, heartbreaking for 32-year-old me. I used to watch this movie in repeat as a kid. It's no wonder I'm so fucked up lol. Dumbo, I'm not even talking about the crows. The amount of abuse that elephant goes through is heartbreaking for a kid's movie. Plus the pink elephant scene was pure nightmare fuel. The movie was made in the 40s, and if you watch closely there's a scene of Dumbo's mouse pal telling him, "You're the superior race." Later, after Dumbo wows the crowd, his face is painted on US military aircraft that are named Dumbombers. Disney actually did have some of their artists paint their characters on World War II fighting planes. Disney is a defense contractor. They did way more than paint characters on airplanes. My favorite one, Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's my favorite Disney film. It impacted me enough to want to learn French and read the original book by Victor Hugo. As I grew older, I realized it is way too dark to have been made into a Disney film. Even with the little fixes they did to make it kid-friendly, it's still very dark. As a kid I didn't understand what Frollo's problem was, but I got that he liked Esmeralda, just not the lust and rapey aspect. When I play, who's the evilest Disney villain? Frollo is my go-to baddie. Tries to lock a family in their house and burn them to death. Also in the opening scene he literally kills a woman and then tries to drown her newborn baby before the archdeacon stops him.